Brewer Magazine, and this is our first video blog. In this episode, I wanted to show you how to gain page likes using Facebook adverts. For most marketing managers that are working at bigger breweries, or if you're working at a marketing firm, this is going to come off pretty basic. However, for a lot of our readers, I know that our owners, operators, master brewers, cleaning hands, anything, keg fillers, keg cleaners, the ones that are just doing it all, I know this could come off as pretty quick to do something very simple that can help your business grow. We all know that Facebook is a great driver to websites. It's a great way to promote events that you're having at your brewery, and there's no way to actually say that there's any other social media platform out there at the moment that I personally think is better. I enjoy the Snapchats. I know that audience is growing more into our demographic every day. And then it's also, there's Instagram, which is fantastic for showcasing what you're making, what's going on in your brewery, where you're traveling to, if you're, visiting other breweries and things along those lines. We use all of those things with the magazine every day. But what I want to show you is essentially how to gain more page likes so you have more traction when you do make these posts on Facebook. And likewise, we'll eventually run this into Instagram as well, and how you can do a cross promotion. But let's just keep it basic in this recording, and we'll go from there. So we're already inside the adverts manager of the back end of my Facebook profile. For these types of video blogs, I'm going to introduce you to our newest brand, A Better Brewing Company, which is a nano brewery that we're installing in the town of Winchester, Kentucky. This town didn't have a brewery, and we moved here. It's my hometown, but we moved back here a couple of years ago and made the decision that we needed to provide something for the city, but I also wanted to be able to understand more hands-on what you, our readers, are really experiencing day to day, both from a business perspective, marketing perspective, and just the ins and outs of trying to make it as a brewer. It's already, in the steps that we've taken, already helped us get a better understanding of what you're trying to do as a brewery. So it's bettering our content. Hopefully, it'll help us showcase some ins and outs that you may be aware of or you may not be aware of. But in this case, it's also going to allow us to show you firsthand, as a brewery and as a brewery owner, what we're trying to do to increase page traffic. For A Better Brewing Company, considering it's in Winchester, Kentucky, it's a small town, about 18,000, a little over 18,000 individuals. We're right outside of Lexington, Kentucky, home of Country Boy Brewing, West Six Brewing, Mirror Twin, Ethereal, Rock House. I know I'm missing some guys, but there's some great breweries over in that town, but even the closest one is about 40 minutes away, depending on how you hit traffic. So basically what you're going to experience when we use this brand is a complete transparency of what we're doing and how we're building our brand, and hopefully we can showcase what you can learn from this brand. So inside the adverts manager, we've already gone in and clicked the green button that was typically in the right hand side that said create advert or create new advert, and it brings you to this unique little screen. This screen has changed over the years, probably 4 or 5 times. You can tell what's your marketing objective. You can do a whole bunch of different strategies with this, and we'll cover those as we move through these video blogs. But like I said, I want to start with page likes. Of course, like I also said, if you're an upper level marketing director, or if you have been doing social media for a long time, this is going to seem pretty basic to you. But for a lot of brewery owners out there, I know that you're sitting back going, there's so much to do in so little time. So these are small things that you can do that'll continually push your brand, help you gain traction in your community. And then when you decide that you want to do events and you want to promote those events, you already have the audience right at your fingertips, and it makes it a lot easier to re-engage that audience through boosting posts and things along those lines. So from here, we're going to go to the engagement. The engagement will give you a couple of options. Give you post engagement, page likes, event responses. Like I said, we're going to page likes today. We're going to make this simple. Campaign name, let's see, a better page likes. You can call it whatever you want, but it's easier if when you start to do a lot of these. I also like to add a date. So today is 4/7/10. The date just allows you to kind of keep everything together. For Brewer, for many years, I've kept quarterly page likes and quarterly pushes for social interaction, and I would basically write, Q1 2017 page likes. I've done Q3 2015, things like that, just so that you know what you've done, where you've come, what worked. At this time, you can always go back and be like, well, say you promoted page likes or you promoted a stout maybe at some point. You can go back and you can look at what you did and how you did that, what was successful about it. It gives you an opportunity to really begin to understand the whole landscape of your social interaction, your social push. From here, we're going to hit continue. All right, it's going to bring down all the different pages. You can see all the crazy pages I've tried over the years. This is only a handful of them. But we're going to click on a better brewing company, and it's going to create new. So you can also go to use a saved audience, but for this, we're going to kind of focus in on creating a new audience. Of course, we're in the United States. That's totally fine. But what I like to do, because we're small, we're local, we want to hit certain areas. So I like to get rid of the United States. You can use, like it says up here, you can type in specific countries, countries/regions, cities, postal codes, addresses, DMAs or congressional districts. You can also add worldwide or global regions. What I want to do is I want to start out with our town of Winchester, Kentucky. There we are. Pops up right there. City. Some other locations that are around us, you'll see that this is where we are on the map. It's starting to encompass Lexington a little bit. That's really not as big as I'd like this to be a little bit tighter. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. For the moment, let's add some cities that are close to us. Mount Sterling is one to our east. There we are. Paris is slightly north of us. That's where you'd find Rooster Brewing, great little brewery that's growing rapidly. They're about to open a new location in Lexington. And then let's add Richmond to our south. Okay, and as you can tell, when these pop up and you see the circumferences opening up, it gives you the kilometers right here. So that's how wide this audience looks. So when we did the Winchester one, of course, it encapsulated Lexington. We don't really want to do that. It's not really what the direction we want to go. So we're going to try and shrink this if we can. Let's take it down to, say, 20. See how that works for us. All right, so see how the Winchester shrunk down for us. Let's take all of these down to 20 and see what our map looks like from there. We'll do Paris. And so what you're looking at here, and I'll explain why I didn't do Mount Sterling here in a second. But basically, we've started to get a nice little segment of our state that doesn't currently have a brewery. This goes all into the Mount Sterling one goes all into the Red River Gorge area and starts to get those the smaller cities and the counties that enter the gorge, which is a great place for hiking, camping, rock climbing. It's one of the top rock climbing locations on the East Coast, believe it or not. And so while we shrunk Paris, I wanted to make sure there was some overlap into Winchester. Same with Richmond and the Mount Sterling. All of these keep us relatively out of Lexington or out of the way of some of the other breweries that are already in Lexington, and helps us to just gain a new niche. This is a niche that, like I said, there aren't any other breweries other than in Paris where there's Rooster Brewing. But we're going to try and grab the cities that are most closest to us away from Lexington. So from there, we've got our age range starting at 21. I like to change the age range. I know 21 is your early drinking age, but a lot of us went to college. We know when we started drinking craft beer, some earlier than others. I like to add it up into right around the time that I believe people start making some type of employment revenue worthy enough of coming and spending good money, whether it's on their own, with friends, on a date, or something at your brewery. And we're going to hit 26. My father-in-law is a lot older. He's around the 65 age range, but I like to bring this back down. Like he says, you got to find your demographic. And I like to try and keep it right around 49. Now that's a tight demographic. I've also experimented a little bit with the 21 to the 65 plus, and you will get more people. But let me remind you, the whole purpose of this is to actually try and be as specific as possible. You're really trying to find your niche. You're trying to make that niche aware that you exist, and you're trying to drive them into your page to eventually drive them into your brewery. Not literally, actually coming and having beers. Now let's go to the detailed targeting. I think this is what ends up throwing a lot of people off. Especially when you're doing a consumer or a B2B. B2B, what we do with Brewer Magazine, has really tripped up some of our suppliers, but we've been working with them a lot to try and help them understand what we do and how we target certain readers. But with consumer marketing, it's a little bit easier just because Facebook was built around the consumer. So I think it makes it a lot easier for you to select what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, the people and interests you're trying to reach. So you can already tell there's craft beer. We're going to click craft beer. Make sure that that's part of our, or that may already be included with what we've got going. It's clearly pulling from a previous post that we've done. But you can do anything as basic as beer. Here you are. There's your interest, and that's a lot of people. Then you're going to go, homebrewers love coming to your breweries. You can hit home brewing. You can do craft beer lovers. You've got craft brews, craft beers. You can just see everything that keeps popping up. Craftbeer.com, Beer Advocate, Brewers Association, Craft Beer and Brewing. All publications, but they're all also interests, behaviors with beer. Consumers and households that are known or likely buyers of beer based on actual past purchasing behavior and other known attributes. So you can really explore with this. Just think of all the different things, beer lovers, different strategies you may be looking into to try and gain some traction. And all you're doing with this is really trying to even more focus on the segment, the type of market you're looking for. If you have a good nightlife in your city, maybe that's something that you're interested in. Pub is sometimes a good one. But you're really just trying to build that niche. And there's no way to say that you're doing too much or too little. I just recommend when I'm doing this, don't get too far outside of your zone of interest. So, say for example, you have maybe for some reason you sell beer cheese. Beer cheese is a really big deal in our city. You have a good beer cheese and you type in beer cheese. Yeah, on some levels, you could make an argument for why that would be good for your business and to attract beer cheese lovers. But I feel like it's an ancillary piece to the business. And I think what you're really trying to focus on is the person that enjoys craft beer, beer in general, and just the overall landscape of beer, brewing, home brewing, and things in that nature. Trying to, you know, work through different segments, I think will get a little messy and could get a little messy. But as you can tell, you're kind of starting to see this estimated daily reach up here in the right hand corner. It's kind of following you down the page a little bit. You got your page likes. These are also estimated 47 to 150. Of course, a lot of this is going to be based and estimated on how much you decide to pay each day. Now you're sitting there going, oh, wow, well, we've got to pay a lot of money to make this happen. That's not true. It's important to reinvest money in marketing regardless, but it doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money just to get a little bit of traction, moving on your Facebook page, drawing more people into your brewery, and the like. I mean, you're just really trying to get a little bit of traction. Building traction will help you pick up speed, and then if you decide you want to dump more money into, say, event promotion or boosting new beer photos that you may have, maybe you have something new on tap, you can do things like that. And we'll show you how to do all that stuff in this video blog, but really what I want you to focus on is don't think so much about, oh my gosh, you're saying I have to spend money. I'm going to show you how you can do this relatively cheap. So you can set your daily budget. You know, it says $25 here. I'm sure that's a great number to gain a lot of traction. But we're going to adjust it to $1. I mean, $1, $7 per week, $30 a month, $31 a month. If that's what you want to do, it'll help you, like I said, gain traction. Yeah, it's not going to jump you out there really far, but doing that $1 a day just kind of keeps the ball moving, keeps your advertising in front of your readers or in front of your viewers, in front of your consumers, and it'll start to drive more people to enjoy your page. We're going to change the advert set name. It frustrates me that you have to change this so much, but this is a continuing thing with Facebook, and it's been like this for years. So, a better page likes. Like I said, I like to keep the dates so that I know what we're doing and where we're doing it, when we did it, so we can reflect on it, see how it worked week to week or around a certain time period. We're going to hit continue from there. So you can do a single image, or you can do a single video if you have a really good video, or you can do slideshows. For us, the single image is great. Your logo works. We've also promoted beer images, and we've promoted pictures of our actual brewing space and things like that. But from there, it already selected, of course, one of our, I think this is our cover photo at the time. So now what we're going to say, coming to Winchester, Kentucky, 2017. Okay. Like our page for constant updates. Now, you can get as creative as you want with the text that you're going to have, but what you really want to do, and it's just like any type of advertising, is you want to have a call to action. Great, it said coming to Winchester. That's fine. But you want to tell people something to do. What do you want them to do? You want them to like your page. So hit like our page for constant updates. Like our page to discover more about our brewery. like our page to learn more about upcoming beers. You know, these little things, telling people what you want them to do when you're advertising is massive. It's exactly what you want to do. If you're advertising in Brewer Magazine or you're advertising in Draft or some other consumer publications, you know, you want to tell people, go to our website to learn more. Go to our Facebook page and like us so that you can discover more. Or email us when you would like to, you know, purchase new equipment. Or email us to inquire about pricing. It's just little things like that, little tweaks that'll help you along the lines of becoming a more successful brewery, building that traction. Like I continue to say, the traction is everything. Just constantly building traction in your business and just helping you move down the down the path of success. So from here, you can hit just place order. There you are. Your advert reach may be much lower than normal unless your product qualifies for an exception. Edit your image before placing your order. That's basically because, here, I'll show you what we did here. That's basically because what it's showing up here is it needs to be cropped, but for our purposes, we'll just continue on. You can crop your images. You can make sure that, you know, they fit what you're looking for, but we're just going to go into place order. It goes into processing your order. Of course, this may take a few seconds. Our status is still spinning. It's these times when it's a good idea to step back and just take a sip of your beer. Okay, so this is where it's going to take you next. Your order has been placed. It'll take you into review. And then from here, you can just continue on out of this phase, and it'll notify you if you have notifications on your phone. It'll pop up and tell you that it's been approved or declined for any reason. If it's been declined, then you'll just follow through the steps again and try and figure out what you did wrong. They'll notify you what they didn't like about it. If it was an age demographic that didn't work for them. If you're promoting alcoholic beverages, which we are, you have to be careful and make sure that your age ranges fit exactly the specific specifications that Facebook has in place. But from there, that's basically it, guys. You hit continue out of this, and it'll take you right into where your post engagement is. It'll tell you your pending review. Once it's reviewed over the coming days, you'll be able to come into this space. You'll be able to see your page likes. You'll be able to see your reach. It'll show you your cost and the amount spent day to day. You can adjust this to lifetime. You can adjust it to a certain window. Say you've had this running for 2 months and you want to see how it did from the first month to the second month. You can totally click on those, and it'll open up an opportunity for you to adjust that so that you can see what's worked, what hasn't worked, and it'll give you a good comparison. You can also add multiple images, so you'll be able to actually click on this, and it'll drop down, and it'll show you the different images and what's worked better, what images get more traction, and what images just are kind of flat, and you'll know never to use those ever again. But that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions, of course, there's the comments section. Please let us know what you think about the vlog. I know it's kind of new. We got a lot going on here at Brewer Magazine, and we're just trying to continually bring you more and more insights, stuff that you can use into your own business. And I hope you enjoy. But like I said, make comments and let us know your thoughts if you can. Let us know what portions of the video you like the most, what we can change for you. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to us, and we'll be giving you little pieces of video blogs, regular blogs, just mixing it up for you guys. So they won't always be social, but they'll always hopefully bring you something that you can implement easily and use in your business at this moment. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.